What's up guys, welcome back. OCG Metagame breakdown for early July, well end of June, early July 2020. As you know, the OCG got their new list like 2 weeks ago. Some stores have already been like using the new list, so let's take a look again to refresh our memories. The previous Metagame breakdown for like a little like under a month ago, we saw that Infernal Knights were like the deck to beat, the most represented deck for a good reason. As you like remember, or you know how to play or how the deck works, like going first, establish some multiple negations, and that's probably one of the reasons why Link Cross was like the biggest card on the most recent OCG ban list, right? The most notable cards, Link Cross being banned, and that's big for the deck. Other decks as well, but you know, like Helki, Fibrex, Needle Fiber, Link Cross and so on was very important for Infernal Knights. Do you know, and with Savage and with the level 9 Synchro to, you know, give you the ability to smoke grenade confiscation during the end phase, and that's mind-blowing good. Ripping your opponent's cards from their hand, right, and at the same time getting information about their hand, which leads to the fact that this deck was indeed the best deck before the ban list. But the new format, let's take a look how the new OCG ban lists, well, like how much of an impact it has on the current OCG deck. So two new cards slash packs were released, like the first one being Ida the Sun Magician, which is quite good for like a Charmer deck. Have been trying it out like past yesterday, today, but waiting on the new card to be released on YgoPro. But the collection pack 2020 is where it's at, because the Numeron archetype is released in the OCG, so it's legal for play. So let's take a look how much of an impact that has. This is still a very early breakdown, right? I mean, a very diverse breakdown, since not too many tournaments not too many tournaments from past week, like 6 tournaments, only 31 top performing decks, so that's not too many. So give it some time, right? But this is again the early breakdown, with Orcus leading, pretty sure. I mean, Orcus wasn't really hit by them most recently. Same for Sky Strikers and the other lists, right? Numeron, Eldritch, more of that soon. Keep in mind, Shaddoll Invoked or Invoked hybrids, still very strong decks, not to forget, right? Thunder Dragon, Colossus still illegal over there. The first list that that Road of the King discusses is the Orcus list. As you see here, a couple of things that we can address is the first one here being the Forbidden Droplet, one of the new Forbidden cards, if that makes sense, next to like Forbidden Lance, Forbidden Chalice, because first of all, it's obviously a quick play spell, but second, its most important counter, or the reason why this card is seeing more play, is first of all the Numeron network, the Numeron engine. You know that the Utopic Sexal has the ability to pretty much prevent your opponent from playing the game by detaching a card, right? And that's why the Numeron like small engine package in Eldritch, for example, is really devastating, and people are main decking against the Numeron deck, or the Numeron engine, I guess, in the form of Forbidden Drop and the Cosmic Cyclone. Again, like targeting the field spell, for example, but a Cosmic Cyclone on its own is fantastic against Eldritch also. So, you know, like, obviously a very good main deck card. Same for Darkline, that's where the Tact in Mask Change 2 comes into play, since again Darklaw prevents cards from being activated if they are cost, like for example Eldritch, the Golden Lord, to discard itself and to, you know, pop something from your opponent or on the field. You can't use that since again it's a cost, so that's where Darklaw shines, and you know, it's just as a whole a very fantastic, kind of like an anti-meta card, right? So keep your eyes out for those Mask Change 2. Ghost Ogre has been popping up as well. I mean, if not the main, definitely side-decked against, you know, like the Numeron network, right? You definitely want more cards. So I talked about the Forbidden Drop. It's not only being played main decked and or side decked against the Numeron engine or Utopic Sexal, but of course against the Dark Magician fusion, right? Since that's again Dragoon, that's still a big threat in the OCG format. The second list that was discussed on Road of the King was Sky Strikers also, and Gage is still at 2. A TCG player can dream if you're a fan fan of Sky Strikers, but again, this particular player opted to main deck triple Forbidden Drop again against stuff like Utopic Sexel or, you know, the Red Eyes Dark Dragon. So you definitely want to have more answers against those superior or kind of scary cards or engines. Same reason why this particular player opted to side deck triple dimensional barrier, again Numeron, just to like name like a big threat currently in the very early OCG format. So that's basically it. Very early, right, as Road of the King mentions, but cards like Forbidden Drop, Forbidden Chalice are definitely good answers against stuff like Utopic Sexel, which on its own makes it quite ridiculous, right? I mean, quite... you don't need a brain to, you know, activate the field spell and Utopic Sexel your opponent and prevent them from playing the game. Some extra lists, and that brings me with Noble Knights. I mean, as we have seen compared to a couple of weeks ago, is that Inferno Noble Knights completely vanished from the format, even though it's still possible to, you know, like go full combo even without Link Cross, but now the combo is very fragile, more fragile than it was before to hand traps and disruption, and of course, yeah, the OCG has access to triple maxi, and I don't think that Inferno Noble Knights can recover from this. And that's, you know, a bit sad, as I'm a TCG player, and, well, we might be getting those new Noble Knights, well, like the whole deck, right, soon. And, yeah, by the time we get all of this, Link Cross might be banned in the TCG as well, so who knows. I'm well aware of, like, the Ignite variant of the deck, but I haven't played it, not really sure if it's like better compared to the the pure build as we've known, but I mean, things go well, right? Another list, this was a first place list, like a 60 card Infernoid Noble Knight list, interesting one, but this still baffles me, is that OCG still has grass looks greener. Imagine we as a TCG player base still having access to like a grass looks greener, but an interesting hybrid. Might try this one out soon. Numeron Eldlish. So Road of the King didn't discuss one, but this is like an example, but well, it's Eldlish with Numeron, right? The thing now, and as I've played Numeron like a couple of weeks ago when it was released and revealed, released on YgoPro, I tried it out and not really sure. I mean, Eldlish is a deck that you don't really use your extra deck unless, of course, you're running the Synchro version, the Synchro package, which is like mind-blowing better or good. I mean, I don't need to explain that, but the thing is that personally, if I would have been forced to either choose the Synchro package or the Numeron package, I'd probably go for the Synchron package, right? I mean, I might be wrong, it needs more testing, but I feel that's better compared to the Numeron package. I mean, you're not forcing yourself to main deck those smaller bricks. At least that's my experience with both hybrids. But then again, as I mentioned before, by the time we're getting these cards, stuff like Link Cross, Helgi Fibrex might have been hit in the TCG or might get hit, so, you know, Eldlish could just recover and slap in Utopic Sexel shenanigans and go from there. Another like Eldlish list, Numeron list, and like Dragma as well. Looking forward to these ones when we are getting those in the TCG. A more pure build here with Curry Bandit, that's not really new, we've seen that before. Let's move along, and that's the next one is a very interesting one, also a first place list. It's something that I've been trying out on like YgoPro as well, is Trap Tricks, but you know, like Dragma and Artifacts as well. Interesting concept, I really like it. We'll be uploading it like tomorrow probably, depends. But yeah, it's interesting hybrid. It's a very control-based build. I mean, it's playing Trap Tricks, right? You're controlling the duel, you're controlling the pace of the game, and Artifact Sight is still a very powerful card. But the thing is that Forbidden Droplet or Forbidden Drop is, of course, a very easy answer for, let's say, Artifact Sight, and yeah, that's something I've experienced already. Dragma Zoo, interesting concept, and speaking of Zodiac, we saw that Zodiacs at Infernities got more support or will be getting more, well, reprints, that is, reprints. So who knows, they might get more support, and that actually might make sense. Konami releasing more Zodiacs, or, you know, put them off of the ban list like Zodiac Dryden, so it actually might make sense of Zodiacs gaining more support. Who knows? Thunders as well. I mean, OCG players still have access to Colossus, and we in the TCG don't, so it's still a viable option, right? Toon Chaos, you know, definitely could have an access, or could have like a possibility to be played here in this particular deck, but if you look at the level 8 synchro, you know, like the Extender, Excavate 5, get 1 light or dark from your, you know, one of those activated cards to the hand. Interesting card. Definitely looking forward to the time when we will be getting that in the TCG. And last but not least, a Markina Arcust build. Some of the decks that pretty much does well in the TCG as well, occasionally, but it needs more. And yeah, the thing is now that no Adamanticators, Nexi is still at 3 in the OCG, right? So that's probably one of the reasons why Adamanticator is not doing too well in the OCG. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.